welcome in everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far in this crypto market. So, everybody, I see the comments in the comments. Let me clarify with my portfolio so that everybody can be on the same page. I talked about uploading 75% of my portfolio, which is true. I got rid of 75% of my cryptocurrency about a week ago when prices were about 20% higher than they are now. Maybe even more. And over time, I showed targets of where I would layer out of some of my other stuff so that I could re-enter and have an even larger bag. XRP, I still have not sold, but XRP is at that point now where you can make an educated and informed decision with this pennant flag if it breaks, because the technical breakdown target is around $1.02. Now, the thing that I have talked about is that I had a plan going into this bull market, and right now I am pretty much not out of XRP, but we're on the fringe now because I have been debating about this, and I'm not as long on XRP as I was to start because I had about 18,000 XRP. That's been dwindled down to 10,000. So I've already been very transparent with that along the way, that I have sold some of it that I had over the top because I wanted to have the profits and I didn't want to be tied in. Now, where it's at right now, you're going to get a very likely opportunity here, whether or not you want to let it go at $2 and you want to try to buy it back at 92. But I'm telling you right now, it's the same thing I've talked about for the better part of 2 weeks. Bitcoin is on a ascending, broadening wedge. That is a very bearish consolidation. There's a reason why when Bitcoin came up to 100,000 roughly on Christmas Eve, I uploaded or offloaded about 75% of my crypto. And then as we've gone along, we've talked about how can we get longer on this. There's a reason why when I had 1 million DGB, I sold out 900,000 DGB. Because I wanted to get net longer. Yes, the 100,000 is still at 004, but I got rid of everything else. There's a reason why I basically have offloaded pretty much everything I had. Yes, ISO tokens, I had larger amounts of it. That has dwindled down to very small holdings right now. My largest holding by far right now is XRP, because I still have over $20,000 worth of XRP. But as far as the rest of crypto goes, and I took a beating from my own audience when I thought I deserved the respect, I deserved at least the understanding and at least the general benefit of the doubt I think I've earned over 4 years of doing this, not missing a single day. And like I said, almost crying because I was so emotional. If I'm telling you it's bearish and somebody else is telling you it's bullish, who should you listen to? I've been telling you the truth for 4 years. And yet I got hammered in my own comment section. I lost 17 people in Tom's Army in the last 3 days. Let that resonate with everybody. You talk out your butt a lot. I appreciate that, dickhead. But if you guys don't want to listen, that's fine. I talk out my ass so much I built a 4-figure portfolio into 6. It's because I don't talk out my ass. I tell you the truth. I built a portfolio that most people, it's very hard. So it's fine. I don't care if I get made fun of. I don't care what everybody says. I just know what I'm looking at on the charts. And I tried to front run this for everybody. Bitcoin right now is one rejection away from this broadening, the rising broadening wedge is one rejection away at 92,700 from signaling a target down to 74,981. So it's interesting. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting to see how quickly some can turn and how quickly some can so easily forget what we've done already. But I'm okay. I'm okay. Yes, when I first started on YouTube, I had a $5,000 roughly portfolio. It moved over 6 figures. I have like $70,000 that's safely secured in its bag in USD. So, But I have not sold. I still have my XRP. I sold some of it, the parts that I've talked about for a very long time about the overages. But I'm looking at this scenario now where there's a very strong possibility because Bitcoin has come below this ascending broadening wedge or rising broadening wedge. I've talked about how that is a very bearish consolidation. Do I think XRP will hold? I don't know. I don't know. I could see a scenario. I created this. Instead of it fell out of this, I would be hard pressed to see it not create like a channel right here or something like this. But obviously we can't go to that with XRP until this breaks down, because it's technically a pennant flag. But I've showed, yeah, I've just shown. But the ones who are sorry for you guys who have to sell, good luck. It's not about having to sell. It's not about having to sell. It's about wanting to secure a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10x in a bull market. This isn't the first day I've told everybody about selling. We talked about this a week ago. 1 week ago, you were in a much different position than you are now. That's right when this broke, this uptrending support. It's right when Bitcoin, to me, hit that sell point. But as I've said, if you didn't sell, that's not my decision. If you don't have profits and you don't want to take them and you're looking to hold straight through, that's fine. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I've simply been 100% transparent with what I do from the beginning. You're always going to have to pay taxes. There's not been a year in crypto where I haven't paid over 20 grand in taxes on profits. The tax is only related to your income, but you're always going to have to pay taxes. I also talked about how I'm not going to be strongholded because of taxes and losing more than I would have paid in taxes. There's different things. But I'm just saying, guys, like, I see a technical move. I see what I need to do. And, like, I build things in a certain way. What I do isn't right for everybody else. I have a house I wanted to remodel. I've been very clear. And I needed some money to remodel. So that's what this push was. But, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't understand why so many people give me so much slack. It's the same thing that happened in 21 when I said that I was selling out of some things. Well, actually, I liquidated 100% in 21. This was a little bit different. I played the proper path here. And a lot of things have went through sell signals. Like, if you just pay attention to what I show every single day, you know, like with algo, the technical zone now where you can start watching is 27 cents. If it backtests this, there's no reason to be afraid of what it's showing us. There isn't. There is no reason to be afraid. IOTA, it broke down. There's no reason to be afraid. Why not be able to massively benefit yourself? What's the point of buying these consolidations before the breakup at 8, 9, 10, 15 cents if you're not even going to capitalize on any of it? Like, can't we see the gigantic head and shoulders being built? Selling now is short-sighted. Be patient. We're going higher in first quarter. That's might absolutely be the case. Might absolutely be the case. I'm not saying that the cycle's over. I'm just saying there's opportunity to maybe. Well, it's not now. It's not now. I was talking about this well before Bitcoin dropped the last 9,000. But I just see a pattern setting up. It's fine. What everybody says is fine. You guys can hold. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm just telling you what I've done in my portfolio up to this point. I was buying when nobody wanted to buy, and I started selling when nobody wanted to sell. It's okay. That's what I do. I kind of go against the grain. But you also have to listen to what I'm saying. I still own XRP. But there's certain things that make me not happy. The delisting tomorrow of USDT in the Eurozone, that's going to have an impact. On the 1st, XRP dumps out of escrow, going to have an impact. You know, you've got some interesting things that are starting to build up. I know they are. Everybody always does. Nobody ever wants to listen to what I say, but everybody always wants to say what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to hear the source, just listen to me. So we're going to get into the charts because I'm not going to waste all my time talking about whether or not you should sell, because that is up to you. I could give a rat's ass whether or not you buy or sell. All I care about is giving you the proper information and telling you what I do every single day. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. You guys are going to do what you're going to do. Most of you wouldn't even listen when I told you to buy at 40 cents. So, you know, I can't expect you to respect me when I tell you that I'm liquidating some of my portfolio. But the funny thing is we're mostly here to watch XRP, and nobody actually listens to what I say about XRP. They get so worried about other things. But when you see the uptrend breaking, when I didn't believe the pennant flag was just going to run through where it was at, when it was a dragon pattern that failed, all of these things are telling us that we have to watch the bearish optics. Now, I'm not saying it's going to fall straight through today. I'm saying that we've come down to certain levels. I own ISO tokens, but all of the noise and all of the junk and all of the BS over the top holdings that I didn't need to hold on to for the drop, that is where we start to evaluate. JIOV, thanks for being in Tom's Army, not only over 1 year, but a $49.99 donation today. Wow. I got to get my phone. I lost. The other thing is when I talked about that bearish day and where you could take opportunity where I sold 75%, and we're not even close to where that was. I lost 171 subscribers to my channel, and since then I've lost 17 members of Tom's Army. Those are the paid subscribers. Those are the ones that help me fund my program. Why? Because I'm honest. People want me to lie to them. I'm not going to do it. If you want to leave my program. But yeah, JLV, thank you so much for that $49.99 donation. And then it's all an illusion. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. A $5 donation and said, I understand you got attacked the day you sold out of speculative positions, which was BS, but you wigged out. Too, buddy. Love you. God bless. I mean, if you consider it wigged out, that's all the power to you. But I wigged out because people were saying something about my portfolio that I had not said. So like I've said a million times, and I'll say it a million times again, sometimes I have to defend myself in a way with comments, because the first thing you see when you come into my community, you know, the first thing people see is the comments. So I don't want them to be misled. I want them to understand when they're coming in my community the truth. But I also give you guys the advantage. I tell you guys when big stuff like this is going to happen well before it happens. So that's the point, your mom. That's the point. With XRP, if we go down to those CME gaps, XRP might not survive $1, let alone $2. And CME gaps fill 97% of the time, as well. Your mom knows. Your mom actually knows this. So if that CME gap fills, don't we see a head and shoulders double topping reversal? Haven't I said for how long when you take the elevator up, you take the stairs down? And if you guys consider me wigging out because I get emotional, that's excellent, because then you're actually reading between the lines. I do have to wig out sometimes. I even say it all the time. I have to wig out at times because my audience does not give me the benefit of the doubt, despite me doing this 4 years in a row. All I've been told is what other communities are saying about XRP going to oblivion right now. I don't care about that. I really don't care about that, to be honest with you. I only care about what I see. I can't be compounded on other communities, because those same communities lost 99% when I told everybody not to buy. And then when nobody wanted to tell them to buy, I told everybody to buy. And it's the same thing, rinse and repeat. I've been doing this since 21. I can see when it's time to leave. John Bugothorpe, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Said, Tom, thanks. If we go to 150, do you still expect a rebound to $2 for sell point before more drops? Yes. Yes. I still see the possibility of XRP because of how oversold we're going to end up. If we fill that gap, mind you, everybody, and John's talking about this. And I'm very happy that you brought this up because we talked about this gap a few days ago. So we have a FVG right around $1.52. So let's just say it comes down to that $1.52. I see no reason why it would come there. And it might not come all the way to $2, which is what we always have to worry about. But I don't see any reason why at some point it doesn't. Maybe it comes to $1.78 and then back test. Maybe $1.85 and back test. But you guys know a pennant flag that breaks down, instead of taking the move up, which would have been the 351, it's going to take the move down in time. And that would be, according to this, $1.02. It's an illusion. Thank you for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that so much. What did he say? I got to get my phone back out. I didn't expect donations there, I'm going to be honest. Like, you guys are seriously catching me off guard here, like, in a very big way. Said, blessed are the peacemakers. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that. Remember, Tom, the blessings aren't for everyone, only to the believers, and that's a hard pill to swallow when you want to help everyone. Just stand on your ground and keep... That's so true. That's my problem right now. You know, I'm trying to be honest with everybody, and I want everybody to be intact. No, it makes perfect sense, everybody. What do you think has to happen if they delist in the Eurozone USDT? Even if we have something that's going to benefit and bail it out. So, but remember, guys, the whole point of me doing what I did with that 75 to 80%, like I said, it might have been higher than 75%. If I would have said 85%, my audience would have jumped off a cliff. So I just say 75%. But remember, when you have the foresight to understand a drop before it happens, what can you do after that? What can you do after that? If everything drops across the board, let's just take one small example. It's just a small example. DGB. I had 1 million tokens. When it got rejected, we all talked about this. I talked about it with all of you at where was this at? Christmas Eve. Remember when it came way up here and I said at 1.35 and it was still at 1.3 something. I sold 800,000 because it rejected. I'd be a fool not to because I can see where it's going down to. So you're telling me those 800,000 DGB I sold and now I'm saving 20% on a buyback was a bad decision? Like, I'm just curious what the audience thinks. And it's still nowhere near being done, in my opinion. It doesn't look like. It looks like it still needs to come down farther. But there's no reason. I have 25,000 XRP. Would you sell? See, the XRP is the difficult one for me because I traditionally don't like to sell my XRP unless I have overages, as I've talked about. But I don't generally like to sell it unless it forces me with XRP. That's the one that I'll fight to the death with. But if it breaks this pennant flag, is it not forcing me to at least consider it? Is it not forcing me to at least consider it? Because this is your bullish consolidation. And if it's not bullish and it breaks down bearish, and I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the audience, I would have sold XRP before. If it wasn't for what I'm trying to build here, I would have sold it at $2.42. I'm just being honest. That's where I sold some of it, but I have to keep 10,000 for what I have future plans for. But if it's telling me it's going down 50%, I'm not holding through it. And if everybody gets mad, that's great. But I'm not holding through a 50% drop. I can tell you right now. It's not happening. We can talk about the tax ramifications and all that nonsense. That's fine. If you are worried about tax ramifications when it's going to drop this much, don't worry, I sold a very fair amount of XRP when it was much higher than where you're even talking. So, if my exchange has ROUSD, I would, but the exchanges that I talk about it being in USD, no. That's on crypto.com, and their USD is backed up to 250K by FDIC. If they have ROUSD, I'd gladly switch to it. But they don't have ROUSD on there, so no. But I have it back safely with the Federal Depositors Insurance. Offload my small cap yesterday thanks to you made life-changing money. Excellent. Everybody keeps talking taxes. You don't think I'm aware of taxes? I've been paying them for 3 years in crypto. I'm well aware of taxes. But I'm also not an idiot. I'm not going to allow taxes to keep me from making life-changing money. You guys just have to calculate your own benefit. Like I said, if I wasn't thinking that we were having an overall breakdown, I'm not thinking like this. But when the market is showing me the obvious possible breakdown here, it's making me a little nervous. Bitcoin's broken very easily down this rising broadening wedge. That makes me a little bit nervous. It made me very nervous on Christmas Eve when it came up to 99K and it got rejected at the 200 day. We talked about that. A lot of things And I've been saying for a week, I would love to just see it rise up because then I don't take the heat from my audience. But, you know, look, I got 380 people here. We don't even have 100 likes. That tells you everything you need to know about what everybody thinks of me and what I'm saying right now. So good morning, 10:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, December 30th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. No, I have not sold my XRP. I still have over 10,000 XRP. I've been very straightforward that I've already sold enough XRP to pay for my entire bag because I bought overages, but I've also been very transparent and said I will make an educated and informed decision when this busts down this wall. And right now, we are very close. We are very close to busting down this wall. Does it mean we're going to? No. But it means that that's the danger zone for me with XRP. Because then, if we're falling all the way down here, that FVG gap, not just at 92 cents, becomes in clear target. But let me be honest, if we come all the way down here, XRP is going to implode. I don't care what anybody says. The other thing that is bothering me, like I said before, do you guys remember why I sold as much as I did when I did? 75 to 80%. Let's just call it for what it is. The day I sold, and that doesn't mean anything hasn't been sold from there. But do you guys remember why I sold, what my main reason was? Thank you so much, David, for $9.99. Says, Tom, you're the man. I appreciate that. Bandito, welcome back to Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Nobody's saying the sky's falling. Yes, corrections are normal. You are correct. No, the reason I said it is because every single person, well, yeah, obviously the kitchen, but those were bags that were built before the market even rallied. That was something separate. The reason why I knew that it was too much right now and it's not time, when it started breaking down, every single person came on, just like back in the day. The old shoe shiner was telling you everything that was good to buy. When it was good to buy, everybody was telling you it was junk. And now when it's topping, everybody's telling you it's the time to buy. It happened in 21. I've watched it repeatedly in other markets. Altcoin season failed as of right now. I've told everybody when altcoin season was. When the money flows from Bitcoin and flows into Ethereum at the simultaneous time that Bitcoin dominance drops, that's when alt season started. We had a chance at alt season if it would have broke that 4,040. We got rejected, and I said, uh-oh. Then I said when we get on the right shoulder, then everybody's going to have to make a very informed decision of what they're going to do. Well, we've very clearly seen the right shoulder building up. It looks like it reversed the right shoulder, and now it looks like a bear flag. It also looks like an ascending rising wedge, just like Bitcoin. So you put all those factors together, if this breaks down, we're going down to 2,120 roughly for Ethereum. That means alt season was canceled for now. AUB said, stop watching other influencers I've been watching for over 3 years, or for the last 3 years, and only watch you give a realistic TA outlook. I try. I don't see pure manipulation here. I see something that's been set in the cards. And yeah, if you want to say USDT being delisted could be manipulation, it's one thing. But also, you could still hold, as we talked about with Ethereum, at 2,774 and create what looks like could be an inverse head and shoulders. It's just, you know, absolutely. If we get these drop down, ICP will be at the top of my list. Top of my list. And yes, Ringthane, you're right about that in March of 2025. But remember, it's only a partial kick into the ISO. It got an exception early last year, and I think it was like February, where they were able to expand the ISO until 2028. So anybody on the old Swift framework, the old HTML, can actually do a 50-50 split until 2028. Been in since 51 and took 60% profit at 163 and holding. I sold at 235 from 50 and got buy orders at 95 to 1. Excellent. But ladies and gentlemen, just because a coin's so useful, you still have to understand the fundamentals. XRP still as useful as it was in 2021, but, or 2024 to start, but wasn't XRP at 50 cents? Now we're struggling at 202 to break down. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. It's a massive pennant flag. There's a reason I haven't sold it yet. I have optics here. I have things that I can do. But until this pennant flag breaks down and gives me that, it's going to be hard for me to sell XRP as a whole to begin with. Because I have a bigger plan with XRP, and that $5.49 is it. But as I've said, it's going to be a very bumpy road to get there. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. And the uglier, the better. If we can have XRP drop and fill that, and let me be honest with everybody. If XRP doesn't fill that 42-cent fair value gap, at some point in the future, it's a 97% probability that it'll happen. I mean, can't argue that last comment. So all I can do is be honest with myself when I'm looking at a chart. I don't get married to anything, but I'm more so to XRP. It was easy to do what I did with XLM because I bought it 8 cents and it was all the way up fucking 10, or what's 8, 9, 10x. I could simply offload as we go. XRP, it was easy to do what I've done. I don't know if that'll rip when Trump comes in because it's unconstitutional for us to create a Bitcoin reserve. The same nonsense I talked about from the beginning. We'll ride this rally on the supposed Bitcoin reserve, but when it starts falling, when everybody realizes it's not constitutional, so we'll see. Guys, don't listen to YouTubers. Everything is normal. I mean, Kyle, if you want to come in here and say that, you should probably do your research on what I've done in the past. But yeah, don't listen to me, guys. I'll be back. I'm going to get some water. Incredible. Fucking incredible. All right. Now that I got my water. Oh, no, I'm not saying that the, I didn't say about the Fed and all that. Nah, I'm saying it's not in our Constitution. You have to have constitutional money to switch our system. Bitcoin's not constitutional money. Now, will it happen? It might. But I remember Trump 4 years or 8 years ago said he was against crypto, and now he's for crypto. So what I look at it as, what do I have to say to get elected? I'm just saying. Beta test coin / Bitcoin is almost done. I think people are getting nervous about what they hear on social media. I don't know if they're nervous about, if you're listening to social media, everything should be going up to infinity right now. I'm telling you right now. For 2 years, everybody was telling you why not to buy this junk, right? When it was down 80% from where it's at, when it wasn't 4x, 5x. Now everybody's telling you to buy it. I can go on TikTok and every single person all of a sudden became the expert. And I said, this isn't what I want to see. If I didn't know any better, this is telling me that we're at a top because the old local stockbroker or the old grocery bagger is telling me what I should be buying. When my own audience and other audiences come in here and tell me what it's going to do, when I know it's going to do the opposite, it gives me all the validation I need. It doesn't bother me. Like, this is what I need to see. This is one of the reasons I love doing YouTube. There's so many people that get it wrong on a daily basis that it helps me form a position. Yeah, you guys don't need to defend me in the comments. I'm okay with people ripping me. I don't care. My portfolio and what I've done speaks for itself. You know, I don't really think there's many people that can come in here and who criticize, who can say, hey, they've done something that they believe in and trying to help people, right? To the tune of, oh, you know, I started this in March of 2021 and I have 5,200 videos. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Period. I see everything I need to see. I know everybody who I respect and everybody who respects me just based on what I've seen over 4 years. Nobody needs to lie to me. Do you know how many people say they're my biggest fans and they're not even subscribed to my channel? And I know that because I turned that feature on. That's the other thing, guys. On the first, a lot of people may be selling so they can avoid the tax hit until 2026. That's absolutely something that usually happens. But if we were to get a proper consolidation, if this were to break down, and there's no reason to say we're ready to just break down yet. Yes, Bitcoin broke the rising broadening wedge. But as I say, I'm very transparent. We haven't got the rejection at 92,700. I certainly don't like that it came down 1,500 points past it, which would make for an easy rejection if it comes back up. Nothing about this looks good to me. We get it. Back to the TA, please. I didn't realize I wasn't doing TA. I get perplexed sometimes. What about this isn't TA? Let's go to the, you know what? Why do I even waste my time? Why do I even waste my time and try to tell you everything over the top when people just can't? I understand why we stay broke. I understand why we stay broke. And I'm not just talking about what I'm seeing in crypto. I understand as a whole why the world stays broke, just watching how people react. You get all this information you couldn't possibly pay for, and people want you to rush through it. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's fucking incredible. If only I had somebody when I didn't know anything trying to teach what I'm teaching you, I would have been so fucking thankful. But when I was trying to learn, everybody wanted to charge me. Everybody wanted me to join some stupid paid bullshit when I didn't even have $1. So here, let's see. See what we got in the crypto, or in the Bitcoin heat signature map. It's going to do my analysis. And if I talk, I talk. If I don't, I don't. And if you listen, you do. If you don't, you don't. Yeah, I don't see any reason why Bitcoin's not coming down farther. And look at the heat signature map. You think we came all the way down here not to take out 600 million just below where we're at? I mean, look at all this liquidation. If you need any evidence, and hey, some say I'm wigging out, I'm bugging out. No. This reminds me of 21 all over again and 23 all over again when nobody would listen at the bottom. Nobody wants to listen when they should take profit. Nobody gives a rat's ass because it's all a big holding pattern. I can't tell you what to do. Just like I told you back in the day, I'm not going to force you to buy anything because I can't. Can't force you to sell it. I can't force you to hold it. I can't force you to listen. I can't force you to learn. So 91,000. Look at all this liquidation. There's a shitload. There's so much liquidation if we just come down a little bit. We'll see. We'll see, because I could certainly see Bitcoin even coming back up and tricking everybody too. But we do see all this liquidation here right now. 91,900, there's 500 million. What was that? 92,000. Where's that? 92,600 million. There's a lot of liquidation here on the Bitcoin heat signature map. There's a lot. A lot. Now, if we come back over the top, let's go into the 3-day. Just to see what we've created for a short spike, because we have had quite the drop down from 99K. And we know that there's going to have to be probably a resistance tap somewhere around 93 to confirm if this does break down. It's starting to build a little bit over the top, but not much. You got a lot more underneath, even in the 3-day, it looks like. In the shorter periods. 233 million built up in 72 hours at that 90. Wow. There's a lot of levels here that could possibly, well, let's just see. Let's just see. Bitcoin already there. Bitcoin's close. DGB is a banger. I like DGB. I like DGB a lot. But unfortunately, it's continuing to get swayed by that downtrending resistance, which means if it's looking for a local support, it would probably come down to 0095. But that's only if it plays out like that. I mean, there's so many scenarios here where you can see where the topping is happening. That's the problem. We've had the big top here. And it was noticeable days ago. It's not just today. We've talked about this for over a week. 85,000 Bitcoin. Here we go. It starts at 80. That's a good observation because it starts at 85,000. So you have a fair value gap. Some would call it a CME from the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, but that's not true because that's only when the market's closed and it gaps through like a weekend or a holiday period. Still say it's more like a fair value gap Bitcoin has, and it can be fulfilled, and it's a rather unique one because at 72K is right around the area, but technically with the way this is set up, some people are calling for it to finish at 85. I don't see it. So I just been saying between 72 and 85 because some people are saying 85, but I see a technical drop. I think 75 is more likely. I think 75 is more likely. Does the $2 at the end? No. To me, no. I don't see what the I don't even know if it's possible for it to hold. I know the pennant flag is intact, but in the shorter consolidation, we had this technical setup and it would bring us down to about $1.88. So to me, I felt like the pennant flag, I don't know if that's going to hold to begin with, and I've been saying that for a month. It kind of reminds me, or for 3 weeks now, of what XLM did in its pennant flag. Now, I give a lot more respect to the cycle uptrend than I do on this pennant flag that's created, because I know when that cycle uptrend was broken, it would have to hold a layer of support. We don't even know if this is the real support. Right now, we've made higher lows and lower highs, but what happens if this falls out? And now if it was towards resistance, I'd be talking more bearish and say, yeah, although it could break down, what happens if it breaks out? Because we're pushing the resistance again. If we're pushing resistance, you have to talk one way. But when you're talking about the cycle uptrend right now on the lower highs or the higher lows and lower highs, you have to pay attention. We are so close to busting this formation. If we just make a lower high and we lose $1.95, that technically signifies a top. The fact we haven't created a lower low yet is the only thing saving us. But I'm not a fool, ladies and gentlemen. There's two indicators. Like I said, when it was at 95, there's a key indicator that even if you don't know anything about crypto, if you don't know anything, like if you don't know anything, you can go on to cryptocurrency and go, crypto, what is it? The Fear and Greed Index. If Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is too high, you sell. It's still at greed where we're at now, which is incredible. It's incredible. So, I mean, I just prescribe by a different theory. I follow the charts, and they tell me what to do. I used to be an emotional trader until the charts took over. Once I learned the charts, I didn't have to be emotional anymore. I have to take a lot of criticism, but I don't have to be emotional. If I can keep my own emotions in check, my audience will be in much better shape. So, I was going to do a live this morning, or I mean, an update like I normally do in the mornings on Monday, but it simply wasn't going to hit the same effect as this. I simply can't believe there's 400 people in here right now. So the price of XRP is showing early signs of a rebound after a week-long drawdown fueled a more than 6% loss. At the time of writing, data from, let's just hear some of the other analysis. Coin market shows that 24-hour trading volume is up 87% to 4.57 billion. With the boost in XRP liquidity, the coin now has the basis to fulfill any shift in demand. So 87% surge in volume is what we're claiming. So if we had a volume increase while it's dropping, is that bullish or bearish? If price is dropping and they're saying we had an 80 something, I don't even see that increase in volume. I'm just being honest. I I don't know. I'm not seeing the big increase in volume myself. So I'm not sure what they're speaking. Where's the big increase? I'm just being honest. Let's go here. Hell, you know what? Let's make this easier. Let's go into the weekly. Where's this big increase? Because we had a huge volume surge here. 11 billion, 14 billion, 9.6 billion, 8.7. Now 3.9. And in this last weekly, it just started, obviously, but it's at 656 million, and it seems to be pushing downward. The weekly reversal is playing out like it should. The monthly candle, we have 1 day and 8 hours. And as I said before, it's going to fight to try to stay over that $1.93, but I'm not so sure it's going to be able to do it. The fact that the way I drew this out, it even highlights that it could come down to $1.88 and try to hold like a falling channel, which I don't even think that's what's going to happen. Let me be clear. We're below the 200-day and the 4. Like everything keeps speaking to the fact that we had an opportunity for days and days and days to try to come up with some kind of vision here. And that's what we've done. And now we need to see if somehow, some way, the volume starts to pour back in. Because we're still in a pennant flag. So as much as we're looking at the bearish optimism or the bearish possibility, we're still in a pennant flag, barely. But we are. Barely. We're about to create a death cross in the 4-hourly, which is not a good sign. Avi, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. Your 5th YouTube. I don't know why everybody's sending donations. That's incredible. This might be the most donations I've ever got on a day that feels like today. I'm just being honest. Coin market cap says fear and greed at 50. It's showing me 65. I know yesterday it was at 73. That would have been a... Have to wait next year is the plan. Sorry, but I just couldn't afford showing income this year. Oh, I mean, I understand that. I'm not saying that everybody's situation's the same. I completely understand that. January 1st, trillions will pour into crypto. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Like I said, this isn't a, oh my God, let's get down on ourselves stream. No. Look at gold and silver. This isn't just crypto, folks. This isn't just crypto. As much as I love gold, what did I say about gold? My target's 23.96, not because I want it to, but because the charts are showing that that is a more than likely scenario. It feels like the Fed, whoever you want to call it, is going to tank the markets. I can't help what I'm seeing. I don't want it to be like this, but I certainly see some optics here. Big optics. Huge optics. Like to where I don't even want to be in any markets. Remember what I said about B2 gold? If B2 gold breaks down that wall, we're coming back down under $2, and that's the crazy thing. Because you're talking about a commodity, gold and silver. Yes, it is possible to bounce from $1.70. It's just, remember, if we go down that far, we got a fair value gap at $1.52. I put the line down here. Where's it at? $1.52. That 150 right here. So that 152.6 is that fair value gap. That's what I'm having a hard time saying. It's not going to come down there because we have that gap. And then if you start pulling it down, remember, we built the pattern out to start. And I have to repeat myself. But remember, take the elevator up. Take the stairs down until you find your zone. Who knows which one of those zones is the zone if it takes the stairs down. And what it means is you're going to successfully over time, you would just end up having lower prices at the end of each successive week. But again, we have not broke the pennant flag. So as bearish as we want to be on XRP, you got to stop until it breaks the pennant flag. You want to look for those lowest of lows, you got to wait till it breaks the pennant flag, period. You want Bitcoin to be bearish as hell, you got to get rejected at 92,780 now. So there is still a big potential here. Absolutely, ring thing. There's a reason why I'm not 100% out of crypto. There's a reason why I have my holdings in XRP. If XRP breaks this pennant flag, it's got a couple different choices. First level would be create a falling channel at like $1.86, which I'm not sure that would hold. Second choice would be to come down to $1.52, fill that gap, and then start pushing back up. Third choice would be to fill the technical target of a broken pennant flag that's like $1.02. And then while you're down there, you might as well fill the gap at 92 cents. And then you have one at 42 or 44. That one's less likely, but if you come all the way down to 92, I could see it. But remember, that's still cutting this in half by 50%. So let's let it play out before we deem it dead. Joshua Batman, thank you for not only being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad, but a $4.99 donation and sends a sticker that says, good job. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I never said it was easy being honest. I never said it was easy being honest. I didn't say it was easy to trade either, and I didn't say it was easy to fight against your emotions. But unfortunately, when you find yourself in a game of money, a game of wealth, you're going to have the ones who are afraid and the ones who take action. It's like that in every single walk of life. Is this the bottom? I don't think so. If it is, I'll be happy. But it's not showing me a bottoming formation. Like, that's the problem. I'm not seeing a bottoming formation. Yes, we're becoming oversold in the 4-hourly and the RSI, which I like to see, but the dailies just went back into bearish territory. It broke past the neutral line. That's what I was trying to say yesterday. And I even said, if I was just somebody watching in the audience and I was an XRP future millionaire, at $2.16, I would have probably sold it all. I said it yesterday live on air and I got criticized, but I said, hey, I'm not selling, but if I was an XRP future millionaire, I'd probably sell at $2.16, and few people did sell there and they're very happy this morning. Remember, it can't be on sale if it's still overbought. Just remember that. Just because the price goes down, it absolutely does not mean it's on sale. That just means it's cheaper than the other person who was willing to pay more than they should have. Syrian Marshall, thank you so much for not only being a very trusted mod, being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor, but sending a donation as well. Like, that is super generous, Syrian. You did not have to do that. I'm just very happy that I'm able to have an open and honest discussion right now. Julie, our open and honest discussion, we have 445 people here.
Success.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I've gotten donations that I can't even believe. I don't know. I can't believe people are sending donations today. It's leads me to believe that more people want to understand what's really going on instead of just being shellacked. Marco Tremblay, thank you so much for the $5.49 donation. And Mary, love, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army today. Unbelievable. You just made me the happiest person in the world today. I've talked about how I've lost 17 people in Tom's Army in the last 4 days since I started talking about the drop. Well, it's been longer than that, but for some reason, on Thursday last week, the day after Christmas, when I was brutally honest, a lot of people were not very happy. But I mean, where was XRP at that time? Like, just from being brutally honest, we just look at the charts. On December 25th, when I talked about it and said, hey guys, I mean, you guys can make an edge. That was at, or the 26th. That was at $2.30. So that's at $2.30. And like, just from there, we've dropped, what is it right now? 13%. So I mean, that's something right there. Imagine if you were going to buy it there and it dropped 13% on you. So I've been the only person, I think, in the entire crypto space, as the run was happening, I said, don't buy it now. If you were going to buy it at $2.50, are you just buying it based on FOMO? Because you didn't buy it at 40, 50, 60, 70 when it was there for 2 years. So now you have to understand, are you buying FOMO? Or are you buying because you want it? I have a strange feeling that most of the people that are complaining bought FOMO. And I have a strange feeling that all the ones who are very appreciative are the ones who bought in pre-rally when we did. Brandon, thank you so much for the $20 donation. That's unbelievable. Your first YouTube super chat. Like, can I ask an honest question? Why are so many people feeling the need to donate today on a red day? Is it just because of the truth? My pennant flag rating. Yesterday, I told everybody, even though it's generally for a pennant flag to break out, I would have it at a 78% probability. I said yesterday, based on the factors, I've said this the last few days, but based on the crypto market and the factors, that I would personally put it at a 62% chance. So what I would normally deem a 78% chance to break out, I was taking 16 percentage points away because I thought it wasn't going to break out. I won't tell XP it sucks. I knew we were coming down, but I'm not about to get hit on selling fees on top of capital gains tax. Well, that's exchange specific. If you're on the right exchange, you won't have to worry about the selling fees. It'll be minimal. But like, I'm not mad about all of this. I take the cycles for what they are. And does anybody remember what I said 24 would be remembered as? The bear market rally. I didn't know if it would last into 25, but we talked about the bear market rally at 24 and then going back to normal to start 25. And then at some point, I don't know if it's going to be the third or fourth quarter of 25 or if we're going to have to wait until 28 and have a whole new 4-year cycle, which I hope not. But if it happens, so be it. I'd see a lot of nonsense. And I've said it and I'll say it before and I'll say it again. When everybody is telling you that it's a can't miss, no brainer, when your local shoe salesman is telling, when Al Bundy is telling you what stocks to buy, you have to reconsider. Nobody's saying we're not going to see $3 in the future. I still think $5.49, that's supposed to be the target out of this. So if this breaks down, the first sign we're breaking down was $2.22 could not hold. That's sign number one. And the reason for that is that was the first target out of the descending wedge that took almost 7 years to break out. And then the second sign would be if we lose $1.98 because that's the 2021 cycle high. Right now, we're fine. We're still in a pennant flag. So, I've been here before. I've been here before. And I'll be here again in the future. This is not something that I'm not. Remember a few weeks ago when I said this is my least favorite time to be in a stock, crypto, asset, commodity. Once it's already built up, I don't like the building moments. I don't like after it's already been built. I like the building in. I like the building up of a portfolio. I don't like what you have to do while holding. So what I've done because of what everything is doing, I simply took the approach at the end of the year, like I told J-Ride, with B2 Gold, I took the approach. I was going to sit in it forever, but once it started reversing down, you know the deal. You could have either sold at the rejection here, bought back at 240, tried to watch it, but right now, I don't know. I think this is going to come all the way down. I'm taking the approach of, I'm going to watch the market play out the end of the year. And then we're going to see exactly what the agenda is. That dollar being up at 108 is insulting. But it's not going anywhere yet. I'm telling you, this is filling out a big cup probably. And it's unbelievable to say this, but we might actually fill off that whole 117. I don't think we're getting out of here without going up to 112 with the DXY. And for anybody who knows my love for gold and silver, the fact that I would have put that target out at 2,396 when we were way up here after breaking that rising channel should tell you everything you need to know about my the way I look at things. I don't want to be looking at things wrong. I want to be looking at them right. I don't want to be caught by surprise. I want to front run it. If I got to make some enemies along the way, I'm okay with it. I'm XRP future millionaire. If you're looking to get into crypto, if you're looking to set up a portfolio, if you're trying to get things set up before the drop, if it has a bigger drop, These are the exchanges that I advise because I use them and I save the most money using them. BITUNIX has the lowest spot and leverage trading fees that I have come across in the USA, the lowest maker-taker fee that I've seen. And they've got many cryptos, including XRP. So you don't need to worry about a VPN or KYC. So use that as a trading exchange. Let's say you have XRP on an exchange like Uphold that charges you an arm and a leg to sell it. I got an idea for you. Send it to BITUNIX, sell it on there and get the pennies on the dollar as a fee. Maybe a couple dollars on $20,000. You might spend $15, $20 in fees. And don't spend $1,000 to sell your stuff. Find a way to go around it. HOTCOIN, you've got VELO, XDC, IOTA, ESC, IOC. So many different things. So many different things. Crypto.com I have because they have the Visa debit card, which I think more people should take advantage of it. And if you're afraid of your money not being backed by FDIC and crypto when you sell out, use Crypto.com. That's one of the few in the USA that actually has FDIC insurance. If you're not in crypto and you're holding it in USD in your wallet, that's backed up to 250K. If you're using their crypto debit card, that's up to, so. Oh yeah, there's a big syndrome of people that are afraid not to hold XRP. I guarantee it. Because I seen it in 21 and it was amazing. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo if you want to send a donation outside of YouTube. But I do have to go because I need to go hang out with Julie. We got to get some stuff we got to get done here this Monday morning.
We got big things.
But yeah, pay attention to XRP. If it breaks this $1.98, I've said it for the last 3 days, you have to make a proper decision. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I'm thinking. And if XRP breaks this and it shows me a clear and converse sign that it's over for at least the short term, I'm not the kind of person that said I bought at 34 cents. I'm not selling it to buy back at 75 because I don't have the same average. If I sold here and it went down 23% and I could pick up 23% more at $1.52, my question to everybody is, do you not have a 34-cent average? Or do you get embarrassed? Or do you say, oh my God, my average isn't 34 cents anymore because I sold it at $2 and bought back at $1.52? That's the question everybody needs to ask themselves. I don't get caught up in that bullshit. If I can sell 10,000 tokens there and I can buy it back and get 20,000 here or 15,000 here, I'm not worried about it. If I sell out $20,000 worth of XRP at $2 and I can use that and I can buy it back at $1.05 and I can almost double my holdings, I don't give a rat's ass if I got to say I got $1. I couldn't care less about that. But there's a reason I haven't sold yet, because I got to see it break down and I got to be convinced in my heart that this is actually what's going to happen. Fake out on the inverted hammer on XRP healthcare. Not technically a good sign. And I'm not sure if we'll get the 4 cents, Gatman, but I think we're going to get to at least 9.3. I do think we'll at least get to 9.3. And then maybe a little bit lower. But I'd be thrilled. The only problem with XRP healthcare is if you sell out, it's very hard to buy back. So this is just one that I've known for a year, since the beginning of the year, that even if it went up, there's no way I'm selling it. I'm waiting because this token supply is so low. And they've got big plans going into 25. That's some of the acquisitions and mergers are going to start happening near 26. And once that happens, oh boy. So I don't think we've seen anything yet here, but you know, it's unfortunate that we couldn't do more with this as far as buying and selling because of our standing in the USA and not being anywhere to buy. But this is just one that I've relegated to the fact that I've got plans for this. And eventually it's going to play out the way I see. But these death crosses don't lie. They're not lying. They haven't lied to us yet. Bearish cross here. Daily reversal to the downside. I'm not afraid of what I'm seeing. I'm actually quite intrigued. I always say the money's made in the bearish drops, not made in the rise. You make the money where you buy it, not where you sell it. Even though, yeah, you're going to make at $2, it's $20,000 compared to buying it for $3,500. But at the same time, you know, I can't tell you what to do is the point. I can't, and I won't tell you. And for everybody saying crypto tax if you sell XRP, be a little wise, folks. Be a little wise. I've been trying to give you this info. BITUNIX, No VPN or KYC, which means you're not relegated to the crypto tax because you are not registered. So if you buy and sell, I would highly encourage you to take your crypto and buy it somewhere, throw it in the cold wallet for XRP, and then when you're ready to sell it, send it to an exchange that you're not KYC linked to, turn it into the USDC, USD if you can, or I wouldn't put it in Tether. That's my problem tomorrow. For everybody who's bullish, what happens when Tether drops to Eurozone? RLUSD simply isn't on enough exchanges yet, so it can't take all the weight. What happens when USDT can't just artificially rise the market? These are all great questions to ask ourselves. So don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Understand what I'm saying. If XRP shows us the clear rejection at $2, there's a very real chance that have to make a very, very, very tough decision. Oh, of course, USDC's tracked. KYC, one more thing I love. Hey, know your customer is a great thing. It's a great thing. One person was over a year in Tom's Army. Most of the ones who left were between that 7 months or less. But there was one or two that were well over a year. I think one person was that had the XRP 589 Moon badge. Great way to look at it. I'm not telling you guys to sell. I'm just telling you there's something you have to pay attention to with the spot we're getting to. I'm not telling you to sell. I have respect for you who are following the capital gains. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Will Bitcoin break 130K by... No, not in my opinion. My top for Bitcoin was 122K if it could have hit it on this cycle. So just like XRP, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't go and take out all-time highs, but that's also another key signal for us of paying attention to the fact that we didn't have enough fundamentals to make it up there. The fact that we went 7 years and we didn't come up to all-time highs with that big push is something. But as far as giving us a break on capital gains, Trump doesn't have the power. So I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. HBAR, I got a bunch of criticism because I had 40,000 tokens and I very clearly said I sold when it came up here because it got rejected at a very critical resistance. Again, I got slaughtered and I said I'd reevaluate at 23 cents for the ones that I can't make stuff up. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just going to sell and not tell my audience. So where would the spot to be on HBAR? You got to look at this 23.2 cents. You're never selling your XRP. What if it never goes to 50? Does it have to? I wasn't aware that it had to make you happy. If you bought it at 35 cents and let's just say you sold it at $2 and you bought it back at $1.50, it doesn't need to go to 50 cents. Now, if you're looking because you want to have that same average, well, yeah, that could be something. But there's one thing that works in your favor as well. There's a fair value gap at 42 cents on XRP or 44. I was trying to sit on here longer because I was anticipating a break of the pennant. Because I knew once it broke this, that the technical target down, the first one was 188. So yeah, it's not that I'm not anticipating it, but I tried to drag it out here on the live because we're kind of in like a support structure here. So these are the times when it could kind of bounce around maybe a little bit if you go back to the pennant. And because we're right on the pennant structure, I don't know though, it just didn't feel like a normal pennant flag. We were losing too much volume on the pushes up. There's a big key indicator. Our volume was crashing even on the push up. VELO looks like it topped very hard. We had a triple top. That's when I told everybody that I liquidated some of my VELO, well, a lot of my VELO. But when it triple topped here, triple topped at 3-2, we can't argue that. 1, 2, 3, triple top. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, not looking good. Now we got to find a catch point. But remember, we were in VELO at 008. So to sell it at 400%, am I mad? No! I'm not mad. That's what I don't understand. Just as mad as everybody was when I was buying it in a bear market, as mad as everybody is for taking 4 or 5x. I don't understand. I don't understand. Even on XRP, you're like 6-bagger right now at $2. That's what I don't understand. There was no reason to be premature. You can let the patterns do what they need to do, and then you can decide. I'm not here to hold your hand. Remember, everybody told me that when I was trying to tell everybody to buy when it was low. You know, so I have to remember that when I have to tell everybody when I think is an appropriate spot to pay attention to. So I've literally said from $2.42, you have to make a decision. And if you wait until $2, that's your break point. You're make it or break it. If it breaks $2, well, $1.98, and that pennant flag, technically what doesn't go up goes down. And now you couple it with Bitcoin setup and Ethereum setup. Well, what does my mind tell me? Bitcoin's very clearly in an ascending, broadening wedge that it's now broken down out of. Very clear death cross. We've also got Ethereum, in my opinion, a very clear broadening wedge. It hasn't broken it down, but now the next target should be around 3,100. That's a steep drop just to get down there. But to me, it looks like the same pattern as Bitcoin. I can't help what I'm seeing. And I always say I often see the pattern develop before it doesn't. It makes me look like an asshole. And that's exactly what happened here again. Because after I started talking about it, everything went up like 6% because it came out on Christmas Eve, or 10% even, to hit the actual rejection. And we did a live on Christmas Day even in the morning. And some in the audience seen exactly what was happening. And it was a beautiful thing and a special thing that we had going, because some of the ones who were watching seen exactly what we were watching and said, hey, this looks like a fake out. There is no volume on this push up, and the volume is rising out of control. It was a volumeless push up, rising pricing, or rising price, crashing volume, bearish reversal. Used to dream of it being $2, not prepared to lose it. No, but that's how we deal with our own emotions separately. So I'm going to go because I don't want to drive anybody to a decision, but you're going to have to make an educated and informed decision. I'll continue to update you, not just on the chart, but my portfolio as well. Fear and greed is at 50 on CoinMarketCap. I'll have to check the new updated on CoinMarketCap, because on here it's still saying 65. I feel like that's off a little bit because it wasn't at 54 last week. Unless they're using a different kind of indicator here now. Altcoin season is only at 47 out of 100. They switched the way that they're doing this now on CoinMarketCap. Big time. Let's see what some of the other ones say. 65. CoinMarketCap says 50. Oh, that's CoinMarketCap. What am I doing? CoinStats. This says 54, still in greed. At least it's coming down some. We really need it to come back down into fear. Now that we're losing greed, now the price should drop big time. If we lose the greed, then you get that artificial dump off because people lose the greed and then they come to the decision that it's all bleak. That's what we want. We need this to reverse. We were all the way up near 100. How is the greed higher than yesterday? How does that even make sense? We became more greedy today than yesterday. But hey, let's sit here and hope for the rebound. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and we'll continue this more. We'll see if XRP breaks down. Right now, it's in the pennant flag, so nothing to worry about yet. This is all purely just to be ahead of things and just to make sure if it breaks down, it breaks down. If not, we have a basic understanding that the pennant flag is bullish unless broken down. We're oversold, getting oversold in the 4-hourly, but the daily, we're still not oversold. So we've got to look at certain things. But I am a proponent for this to go up. Believe me, I beg of the market to go up. And somebody asked me about XLM. broke the uptrend, the cycle uptrend, which now it should go down to local support, which the next one is right around 25.9 cents. So about a 7-cent drop. Old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing and myself are looking for a 20-cent point to possibly make a big splash. So that's a target that me and old Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing is looking at for XLM, as we discussed it yesterday at my dad's house when we were doing our Christmas. So that's a level of optics, not just me, but for him as well. So there's a reason he's looking at that 20, 25 cent area. So that's all I can say, everybody. Have a blessed and beautiful